Stay tuned to meet one of America's top trial lawyers, Joe Schwab.
Welcome to the YouTube channel of Michael J. Swanson. Michael is the author of How David Beats Goliath and is the CEO of Advocate Capital. And now, here's Michael.
Joe Schwab, sometimes called G. Joe by his friends, graduated from the University of California in 1972. He later received his JD at Pepperdine University School of Law in 1975. Joe spent almost 3 years as a defense trial attorney at the Safeco Insurance Company headquarters in Seattle, Washington. In January of 1979, he then joined the John Calbum law firm in Moses Lake, Washington. In the mid-'80s, he took over the firm, then called Calbum and Schwab. Joe Schwab provides a wide range of services for people who have been injured by bad products, commercial trucking collisions, and other personal injury incidents. His two core principles when helping his clients are: 1, providing experienced and reliable representation for the injured of Washington State, and 2, being an ethical and dependable member of his community. With hard work and strong ethical principles, he hopes to provide protection to his neighbors from wrongful acts of others, provide a strong support system for his company employees, and simply be a good person to all. Hi, Joe. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Doing great, thanks. How are things in Eastern Washington today?
Well, they're actually pretty good. We're smokeless. It's the fires have quieted down.
Excellent.
And it's a nice fall day.
Beautiful, fantastic. Well, Joe, you've become known over a few decades as one of the premier lawyers and law firms in both injury work and in workers' compensation work in SSDI. Can you share with us what led you into that type of work and on the plaintiff side of the aisle?
Well, I started out as a defense attorney for Safeco Insurance Company in Seattle. And I met the original founder of the law firm, John Calbum, at a seminar, and I was ready to, jump ship from the insurance defense business. And he made me an offer I couldn't refuse.
Excellent. So what was it like working on the defense side compared to what you've been doing now several decades on the plaintiff side?
Well, we had a lot more litigation that we were involved in. It was mediation. Mediation has had a significant impact on the number of cases that go to trial. Back in the days when I started, there wasn't anything called mediation. It was a telephone conversation with the adjuster, and that failed, and off we went to trial. So I was in the courtroom, it seemed like every other month, trying a case. Now we have the evolution of mediation, and things have changed. We find ourselves in the courtroom less frequently, which has its downsides, to be honest with you.
Yeah, talk about that a little bit. I know that ABOTA has lowered its threshold for the number of jury verdicts you have to have reached in order to become a member of ABOTA and CalABOTA and others. Talk about the negative impact of that.
Well, the negative impact is really just a skill set with the attorney. You sit there, and it's maybe been a year since you've been in a courtroom. In a courtroom actually trying a case, and so it's not as comfortable as when I first started doing trial work, where it was literally, like I said, I was in a courtroom probably every other month trying another jury trial. Paul Rivera in Seattle, you probably know Paul, very prominent attorney, member of the round table and everything, gave a speech one time and talked about that very topic, and said it's really a shame for the younger attorneys coming up in this trial litigation area, because mediation has been successful in reducing the number of trials. And so it gets a little more difficult to work on your skill set. We do some things in our office to try to maintain that. We work a lot with the Keenan Group in Atlanta, and it's you're probably familiar with them. It's a different discipline. You're not sitting in a seminar program listening to somebody lecture. You're actually finding yourself standing in front of a group of people, a lot of attorneys, giving an opening statement, voir diring a jury. It really helps keep you a little sharper.
Great. Well, Joe, thanks for being on with us today. We appreciate the work you do in your community in Eastern Washington State and beyond. And if somebody had a question for you, maybe about a case or what have you, how would they get a hold of you?
Well, the website's probably the best way to go about things. You get on hold of the website and you get email addresses and telephone numbers. And
great.
Terrific. That's the modern world, isn't it?
There it is. Yeah. Well, we'll put a link to your website below the video when we post these on the various social media channels. And that's the wave, not of the future anymore. I remember back in the 90s having lawyers say, do I really need a website? Right. That's like back in, should I be in the yellow pages? So you and I have been around a while. We've seen quite a bit of evolution of law firm marketing and presentation.
Yeah.
Great. Well, Joe, thanks again for being with us today. We appreciate all the work that you do.
Well, thank you for having us.
You bet.
Thanks for watching. Send your questions or comments to Michael at mike@howdavidbeatsgoliath.com.